Hi, I'm Chuck, KK6USY. Welcome to Ham Radio Adventures. Today we're going to look at a lithium battery from GoKWH, or GoKWH. I'm not sure exactly how they actually say their name, but anyhow, it's a pretty cool battery. But first of all, I'd like to thank the good folks over at Banggood for sending this to a review for you guys. As always, they don't look at my video before, they don't tell me what to put in my videos, so all the comments and the review are my own. Okay? They also don't pay me to do the review either, guys. So this is a 12.8 100 amp hour battery, 1280 watt hours. All right, it's setting right here. What's different about this battery is it has a meter on top that gives a percentage and a voltage of where the battery is actually at. And I think it actually might even tell you the amperage draw. We'll look at that later. Up here is the meter, and we will show that to you. All right. During the video here, I will also tell you the dimensions and all that stuff, the weights and all that, but we'll do that off their website. If you want, I can do it real quick. Let's see, 13.25 by about 7.25, and to the top of the bolt about 9.25. So pretty compact, about a group 27 size. So let's take a look at the battery close up, and then we're going to do, after that, we're going to take and put this thing through its paces. We'll see if it can run like maybe a coffee pot off an inverter. And then also we're going to take and do a test on it to see if it gets a full 100 amp hours. So let's go and check this out. And oh, by the way, also it was packaged very well. I'm not going to show packaging. We're not going to unbox it in front of you guys, but it had about 1.5 inch foam all the way around the whole thing. All right, let's get into the review and take a look at this thing up close. All right, so here we have the battery. You have your standard screws here on top, little bolts. Look pretty good. I think those 8mm common. You have your meter here. You probably saw that earlier in the video. I don't know what the set button is yet. We'll test that out later. Once I charge it, I'll set it. If it doesn't show 100, I'll set it. I think that's how that works, but we'll check that. Well, let's heck with it. You guys see 70, 13.1. Let's just set. And it just sets it there. I think if you get all the way to 100, it probably sets that, and then it goes from there. These aren't always the most accurate, but better than nothing, right? And once you learn your own battery, you'll see what it is. I'm going to go ahead and measure this again for you guys. So at the top here, we have 13, and actually just a hair under 3/8. That direction. In this direction, we are 7 3/8. And then, like I said before, about 9.25 tall, and that is to the top of these. That will change if you put stuff under it. All right, the actual battery itself is to the top about 8.5 inch. Has a nice little grab handle here. This comes off if you pull this down just a little bit. I think you can probably get enough slack in it to pull it over, and then it will come off if you need it to come off. I usually just leave them on depending on what I'm installing this in. It's a nice little carry handle. I like these type of carry handles. They seem to balance the battery out pretty well. Let's take a look at the front of it now. Let me throw this under it to kind of give it a little more angle for y'all. So there we go. 12.8, 100 amp hour, 1280 watt hours, LiFePO 4 battery, lithium iron phosphate. Do not reverse connections or charge from the charger to battery. Don't throw it into a fire. Don't heat above 70 degrees Celsius. Short circuit and disassemble. They don't want you disassembling it. I know some people do. I'm not going to. All right. The rest of the battery has a pass on the top up here. The back looks pretty much the same, exactly in the front, and it did have a QR code on there also. Let's go into their website and see what they say about the battery in there, and then we'll get to testing this thing. Okay, let's go through the website here. And let me go all the way to the first picture. There's a picture of the battery. Now it shows up at the top here, we're talking a 12 volt, 100 amp hour LiFePO 4 lithium battery, 1280 watt hours, energy storage box, battery series, LCD, capacity display, and built-in BMS. Now right now this Now right now this is selling for $213.99. Good price, because a couple years ago these things were like in the 500 ranges. So you can almost get, well, you can get two for the price of one from a couple of years ago. And this shows the USA is where they're shipping from. It expects ship date before August 31st. Right now it's 8/26/2024. And then it says free shipping, this is pretty good. Free shipping, that's a nice thing. And it says 7 days, expect 7 days for delivery. California, that's where I'm at. But they probably have warehouses at different parts of the United States, so you may vary a little bit on the time. I wouldn't, most of the time they're down in LA for California, so I would expect probably less than 7 days if it's in stock, which it shows it is. All right. Let's look at the next page here. So I guess this thing does, well, let's look at this. It's a LiPo4 battery. It shows a coffee maker. Here, let me make it a little bigger for you. A toaster, electric kettle, tells you how many hours. That electric kettle said, it's hard to read, I know guys, sorry. It looks like it's hard to read, but then there are, now your refrigerators, like your little ice chests that you have that are compressor fridges, when you first set it up, it will show you a certain amount of amperage, and then it goes off and on. So something that tells you how many hours will usually be less hours than it says while it's running. All right, it says it uses grade A cells and with a multi-protect, oops, dang it. There we go. It says overcharge protection, over discharge, over current, short circuit. What's really nice, if you guys are ever using these for RVs, what will kill your RV battery on lead acid is that have a draw in there somehow and that thing go all the way dead a couple times. They're not much good after that. These will go down to a certain voltage, they cut off so it won't hurt the battery. All right. Let's go to the next one. It says 4,000 plus cycles. And here they're just showing more. Extra BMS protection, battery cell balancing, battery aging, and data transmission. Let's go to the next one. And this one shows that it actually has low temperature charging protection. So that's a good thing. So I won't be able to test this for you guys, I don't think. I'll try to if I can, but I don't think I'm going to be able to. And then over here, we'll go back to the same things again. It says you can charge at 50 amps. If you look up here, let me get in there, right here. And then it says 10 degrees Celsius, or yeah, 10 degrees Celsius to 45 degrees Celsius. That's your temperature range in which it'll charge in. So that's good. And then back here again, it says 4,000 cycles. And they're just showing different ways. IP65 waterproof, grade A cells again, lead acid replacement. We already knew that. They expect 10 years out of these things. I don't know if these batteries have been out for 10 years. They probably have. I haven't been aware of them for 10 years. But I know most batteries in your RV and lead acid last about 4, maybe 5 if you're lucky. All right. So if you get 10, you're getting double the life. That brings the price down. And nowadays, the price of these things is not much more than a lead acid. So really, it's not a bad deal. If it lasted 10 years, you're getting a good deal here. All right, let's put this thing through its paces. I'm going to charge it up, and then I'm going to hook it up to my tester and see how many amp hours we can get out of this battery. All right? That's the next thing we do. Oh, by the way, I won't make you watch the whole 10 hours or whatever it takes to discharge it. I'll just show you the beginning and the end. All right, let me get going on that. I got to charge this battery up first. All right. So I have a 1200 watt inverter set up here, hooked up to the battery. Then I have a 4-cup coffee maker. This thing puts out 600 watts, so this should handle it. It's 1200 continuous, pure sine wave. So we're going to go ahead and, well, let's do this first. We're going to pour our water. I have 4 cups of coffee, 4 cups of water, I should say. We're going to pour that in. I haven't used this thing in years, guys, so I don't know if it even works. But we're going to try it. We'll close this. We're going to turn this on. Get it started. Okay, it's on. All right. Now I'm going to go ahead and turn the coffee pot on. It may peak for a second. See, hopefully it works. 610, so it's just a little over what it said, according to this. And it's already shown the battery is down just a little bit. I don't know if you guys can see that. Let me see if I can move a little closer and zoom in on that for you. As you can see, it says 600 right now, 606 I should say. And then I'm going to click this on. It's already dropped. This was still at 70%. It's 12.8 volts now, 64%. So it did change this from 70 to 64. This is still, it's still pretty good here. And this one shows it just off also, so it's pretty close to what the battery gauge says. We will charge this all the way up and see what it says then. But first I wanted to run this little test here. So this is something that's like if you're out, say you're out doing field day or something like that, you want some coffee in the morning and you had your batteries charged and you know you're hooked to solar, so you don't really care that you're running power out. This would be a quick way to get 4 cups of coffee. And you could probably do this multiple times. I don't know if you guys can see it, but we are percolating there. This thing was set to go into the, I'm going to lower my voice, is my wife's clothes, so I may actually steal this from my trailer. It's perfect size. I forgot we actually had it, or I know we had it, I couldn't find it. We cleaned out the laundry room and voila, there it was. I may speed this up and come back after this is done, but definitely let you know. In fact, I should have started a timer on this. We're at 9:14, probably been at least 2, or 9:15, it's probably been at least 3 minutes. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but it's finishing off right now. I also went and got this. This is a little heat gun for doing some of my work. It's about 400 or 500 also, so we're going to plug it in at the end here. I want to make sure this works first all the way. We'll turn that on and amp. Run a few more watts through this thing. Let me see what the battery says now. Still says 64%, so it didn't even, it went down from 70. But this battery's been set in my house for like at least a month at that point. So it's finishing. So while it's still going, let's put this on. 877. Let me see what the battery says. 61% on the battery now. I'll turn it off. 871. That went off. Okay. Now we're back at 68%. The battery is slowly working back up a little bit. We're still running 19 watts. I will turn that off. See if that changes, because it's done. And then I will turn this off, because it does draw power, even rusting. So we'll turn that off. Now we'll see what the battery says. And time is 9:19 now. It was 9:50, I'd say about 9:10. So we ran about 9 minutes to do all that. And now we're 68%. So it went, and it's 13 volts now. 68%, 13 volts. So it went down 2%. I think that's pretty good. All right, so I've got this on the tester right now. As you can see, it's hooked to the battery here. All right, let me readjust a little bit and I'll show you the screen real close up of the screen. All right, as you can see, we're at 9.98. It was 10. It changes just a little once in a while. Now we're at 10 amps, 12.7 volts. Is I guess what it's showing right now. We've done 66 amp hours already. So this takes somewhere around 10 hours. I'll probably check back in about 9, and then we'll see how she does. Okay, as you can see, we're at 102.34, and it just went off. The voltage is actually 10.6. I think I'm losing power through my wires. They should be probably a little bit bigger wires, but over the 100 amp hours, so that's good. I could probably get more out of it too, but I guess my wires are losing too much voltage, because it's 10.2, it's 10.6 actually. All right, as you guys saw, a very good little battery, pretty low price. I mean, shoot, a year or so ago, these things were going for $500, so the prices now are way better than they were. And all these Chinese-made lithium batteries seem to be putting out what they're supposed to put out. It says 100 amp hours. I haven't had one yet that tested under 100, and most of them were like 104, 105. So again, a very nice little battery here. Not the more compact one, but this is like I said earlier, a Group 27 size, which is your average size for most trailers, motorhomes. Sometimes they have a group 24 size, but this is the bigger group 27 size. All right. So if you did get something out of this video, hit that like. And if you're new here and you want to see more content like this, or more ham radio versions like antenna builds and stuff like that, make sure you subscribe, hit the bell, hit all. That way you get all my future videos. I'm Chuck, KK6USY. Appreciate you guys spending your time with me today. 73 all, and hope to catch you on the airwaves.